Alright, so reviewing, we're going to do 3.2 and 3.3 today because they tie together so well. So remember 3.2, we said that we had parallel lines and a transversal. So we had theorems that said corresponding angles are congruent, alternate interior angles are congruent, alternate exterior angles congruent, and consecutive interior are supplementary. So are they equal 180 degrees? So, most of the problems, you're just going to make the two things equal. And so remember that in the directions, it might tell you the lines are parallel, or they're doing a good job of drawing a good triangle there, or they've got these triangles on the lines showing them that they're parallel. Okay, so this is kind of the tricky version, because first you would need to look at those two angles and say, what are they of those four? And so, well, they're not in the same location. One's bottom right, one's bottom left, so they're not consecutive interior. And then the 110 is on the inside, and the 2x plus 8 is on the outside. So that kind of eliminates all the rest of them, because alternate interior, alternate exterior, they both have to be interior, they both have to be exterior, or consecutive interior, they both have to be on the inside. So they're nothing right now. So you have two options. Well, there's maybe more than just two, but you're going to have to move one of the angles. And typically you're going to either move them by doing a vertical angle or by doing a linear pair. So it really doesn't matter which one you do. It just, what does your eye see first? So my eye sees that I can do 2x plus 8 with vertical angles, and then I've created, with the 110 and the 2x plus 8, I've created consecutive interior angles which add up to 180. And then I gotta solve the equation. Okay, so there are other ways that you could do it, and it would still work. But I will tell you that you're going to deal with something adding up to 180 and then writing an equation and solving it, and it's going to look very, very similar. So there really isn't like a better way to do it, or this is an easier way to do it. or this one has fewer steps, or like they're all pretty close to the same. Okay, so the 3.2 part, it'll all be just different versions of solving based on what kind of angles those are. Okay, the 3.3 part, the directions are gonna change, and it's gonna say something like for what value, wow, that was bad, of x will the lines be parallel. And if you remember last week on the lesson, you're going to do the problems the same way. So they're going to look parallel, but they're just not going to be marked parallel. So if you had 2x minus 10 there, and you had 118 there, you'd say, oh, those are corresponding angles. They're both on the bottom right hand side. And so if I did 2x minus 10 equals 118, and then divide by 2. Okay, well, if x is 64, then the lines would be parallel. Okay, you do them the same way. So try to just connect when they're talking about parallel lines that you're still going to say alternate interior are congruent, alternate exterior congruent, and so on. Okay. The other thing that questions that get asked in 3.3 is there enough info to use the word prove? It does. To prove lines are parallel. And so it'll give you a picture, and then it will mark something. So is there enough information? Yes, because alternate exterior angles are congruent. Okay, so they're gonna, there'll be a couple pictures, I'm sure, where things are marked, and just remember, it has to be one of those 4 items. So one of the popular ones that this book likes to do that is incorrect is they'll mark like that. Well, that's true. Those are vertical angles. They are congruent, but I don't know anything about the angles on the other line. So this one is no. There's not enough information. Okay? So if they use numbers, you're allowed to make conclusions. So if you had a problem like this, and it said that this one was 85 degrees, and This one was 105 degrees. Is there enough information to show that these two... Oh, I shouldn't have used that. Let me change that to 95. Is there enough information to show that these are parallel? Well, those aren't any kind of angles right now. There's no such thing as consecutive exterior angles. So but I can conclude stuff. Like, again, my eye always goes to vertical angles. It's just my eye sees that better than others, I think. And then, well, now I've created consecutive interior. 95 and 85 are consecutive interior angles, and 95 plus 85 is 180 degrees. That means they're supplementary, and consecutive interior angles are supplementary. So this one is, yes, there is enough information because consecutive interior are supplementary. So you're allowed to make conclusions to help with the problem. Can't really do that a whole lot with the ones that are just marked congruent, but you can when you're given numbers. So, all right. So section 3.2, 3.3, remember all those corresponding consecutive interior, alternate exterior, alternate interior. That's going to be a big part. Like, that's half the test. There's only 4 sections, so each section is basically a quarter or 25% of the test. So kind of a big part of it. All right. Get that done. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Remember, test Friday. So all the assignments are also due Friday. And have a good rest of your day.